So I thought my last video would be my last, but like the last video, I have a conversation with someone, it bring me realization, this is a common question asked, or maybe be a common question asked. So let me explain and give the answer to all who would ask the same question. And one of the big questions is, how are you so sure God is still saying, Mr. Fowler, isn't it just your feelings? It's all in your head. It's all your feelings. And I'm like, okay. There are moments when it's in my feelings. Like right before I made this video, literally a couple seconds ago, I just had to conscious of it, let it go. And some of these like feelings, I think it's just some soul tie shit that God set up from He's like, yo, it's your husband. And so, that I can't even explain till I write the book, but yeah. The point is, I'm gonna explain that, okay? Explain how it is not in my head. It's not because of feelings and not trying to move on. And a lot of people who follow up with the story would understand as I share the Yamed video, he'd explain that is me caught up in my feelings and in my head, because then I was sending letters when things were terrible, sending letters with lipstick on my lip, kissing each page, and then the last page I'm just kissing on, bruh, in the mail. Didn't know when he will receive it, kind of stuff. Writing because I'm listening to Sam Smith on the bus, and I wrote it in with my own pen, and I wrote pages upon pages, about 10 pages. Then it was my feelings. Then was not what I'm about to share. Alright. So, with Mr. Raheem Fowler, and why I know God hasn't fully changed his mind yet. No, not fully changed his mind, because he doesn't change. What do I say? Let's use accurate words so I don't seem like I am, praising God as false. According to the Bible, God never changes, and He's consistent, never changes his mind, but also He can regret a decision and make a replacement. And that part, and I read that, I was like, oh, because of the bullshit, Anyways, so let me use the right wording. So, how do I know God hasn't regretted the a-hole that God has said I am already married to? It's because of what... Sometimes it's hard to think about those moments, because I even break down in tears when triggered to those memories. Okay? I mean, one distinct moment that happened was, I don't know why it triggered memory, and I think it's just God demanded or encouraged or planted, or the visions, everything that I've ever dreamed of wanting for my future, whatever, is connected with them, right? And so because of the pain of it all, my goddaughter, she was just so tired. She came up to me and she just wanted she was tired, she's out of it tired. And she just wanted to hug, not hug, just lift up and just sleep. And in that moment, it just brings me back to just future mothering things and the connection to, who God chooses or whatever. And I'm just thinking, it just crossed my eyes, just broke down in tears. Yes, the little girl is still in my arms, and I'm holding her while she's going off to sleep. But I'm breaking down in tears. It happens now and again, because I'm just like, the fuck is this? And I have to connect everything. For example, the most recent significant moment, God was a reminder or plan. He not just planned, cemented. He cemented his plans. I can't even remember the details to the exact moment, but I tweeted about it. So if you want to scroll back, scroll back. I don't remember when, but it's a couple months ago or last month. I remember being angry. I think it's around the time being angry. I don't know, maybe it's after, but the vision I remember seeing was, yes, I think it was also three visions of these events, three different events. And the first one is me, big old belly, looking out on obviously grass that is well cut, so that maybe definitely Canada. Then again, maybe Jamaica. I don't know because of some recent things. Anyways, and I see who, which is another vision I'm going to mention too. Mr. Ray Fowler playing with our eldest child, which God said will be a boy, which I already named because God already told me it'll be a boy from last year, October. And I kind of figured out what I want to call him from that. Anyways, that is October. We're not even the one I'm saying the boy part. The vision before that didn't even happen in October. October, God was like, prepare for a child. Prepare for a child. Prepare. Anyways, like if it's about to happen also. And I'm like, it's not what I want. Anyways, so that first vision happened. Then the next vision that happened, I'm seeing, I don't remember if, I think it was like pushing, like some pushing, no, yes. And then I saw the two alien heads. But yeah, pushing, like pushing bird, like some pushing out, in the hospital pushing. Don't know the details, just like that. And then saw two alien heads, and I'm like, oh yeah, I woke up in the middle of the two alien heads. And I was like, what the hell? Okay, what the is this from the devil? What the hell am I? This is can't be a vision. And then I went back to sleep or zone back out. God's like, it's sonograms. I'm like, yeah. I don't know if it's two girls or something like that. I think God is saying that. But that's what God ended up with saying. That oh yeah, and the boy, the first child, and right, the boy would be about 3 years old. About that, playing with Raheem outside in the backyard, and at that time, yes, was it that time? Yes, mind you, I had those visions. I had those visions right here. And it was, yes, I remember. No, I didn't remember. I ended up mixing up the timelines, but I also tweeted about it, so I'll be clear about it when it's written in the book, or I'll go double check. Because it was like this angel. It was around the time? No. Yes. Around the time, I think an angel came at me and said, prepare for a sponsorship for right. It was like, I didn't want to do it, but it's just like in my face. I eventually did it. Anyways, the day before, I end up meeting up with an old friend. And this old friend, back in high school years ago, I end up leaving out ultimatum. I didn't remember I did that. That was the last thing we had in conversation. It was an ultimatum. But we were talking about all of our drama and struggles, and he was talking about, if I had chosen you, maybe we would have been happily married with kids and perfect. I was like, at first I was like, no, because a lot of things that made me who I am now, I'm like, I wouldn't want to go any other way. However, I started thinking back. I was like, sorry, I think he would still help me be who I am today, and who I am today would still end up happening even if we were still together, and they would get back, and it would have, and then I started even drifted off like, whoa, it would have been good, in my opinion, a good reunion, and started liking it, and then it's like instantly God's like, if you ever entertain that, if you ever entertain that, or go down that further in the sense that get married to the guy, try to have children together. This is what God warned me. He told me the guy will die and the child will be stillborn. I was like, or miscarried, one of the above. And then during that time, I was also calling him, I was cussing out Raheem online. And I think, okay, I think at that time, like, I was like, stop, or else you'll be pregnant and alone. Mind you, he wasn't just like pregnant and alone. He was like a Nebuchadnezzar kind of vision where I'm in Mandeville in the streets, like a mad person, like a serious Nebuchadnezzar vibe, alone. But I think I would be pregnant with Raheem's child. So let's clarify some things. So, two things. I actually didn't tweet about the sonogram. I tweeted about the thing that I end up seeing, which is Raheem and our firstborn, and I didn't tweet it about a telegram. What I did was wrote it down for him to read if he reads it, but I didn't actually tweet about it, and that was actually in June 6th. So May 6th, actually, I'm going to tell you the dates. I don't know if there's some significance, because I'm realizing dates have significance because he ended up using them for a later date, like a year or two later, and I'll explain that another time. But on May 6th was around the time I was tweeting about the guy that I was kind of chilling with, the guy, and it was around the time I also was considering an old flame, because I was like, whoa, maybe that would have been a good idea. And then God gave the warning. But also that was around the time the whole Duffy story thing, and then God was telling me to prepare for the sponsorship. And on top of preparing for the sponsorship, he was also telling me he gave me 3 distinct visions of being pregnant, giving birth, and posting our first-born child's birth certificate. I don't know what the hell God it's like he's now telling me to do. But he's a boy. And I know what I was going to name him from like October. Anyways, so then about a month later, which is another thing, which is why I keep saying God keeps solidifying that one decision. He's not giving me no vision about the replacement, which is annoying. But anyways, I had a vision of I saw first me pregnant, big old belly, and I thought it was near birth, but then I see him outside with our 3-year-old firstborn playing, and then the next thing I saw was 2 alien heads. I woke up out of it. I was like, bro, what is that? End up going back into that sleepy weirdness where God's like, that's a sonogram, and I saw the sonogram. I was like, shit. And basically saying it was going to be 2 girls, and that happened in June 6th. So I went back and realized that's that. So, and let's be clear about what happened during that time. May 6th, I was entertaining other people, want to be with other people. June 6th, I end up tweeting, actually 2 days later, I end up posting a poetry of being done. And I was done. So imagine that. Mindset is all, I'm done. I'm literally moving on. I am dating. I am doing other things. And God is like, okay, I see you. This is still what I'm planning. Do you get what I'm saying? This is not in my head. This is not feelings. If it was feelings, then I'll be moving with the other guys. Bruh. So God is like, and the reason I think that happened, God said it then versus now, because he's not telling me no to stop cussing or anything. I think then it's because they were trying now to make try to do what God said. Because they didn't tell me anything distinctly, I'm not going to say for certain that they'd burn. But I think that's what it is. And so if I was saying all these negative things, it would deter God's path. However, now it don't make a fucking difference. Because the truth of the matter is they chose to lie. And what I chose to do, now I'm like, all right, fine, God. Yeah, I said don't fuck with me. But I also state some things that need to be dealt with. Because he chose to lie and he chose to say that we were friends when he was doing certain things. Let's pause for a minute. I did mention some things in the last video that transpired. And not to make him look like an asshole, even though he is an asshole. Some of the things, because it's not just making him look like, make me look like I entertain foolishness. I do not. I do not entertain foolishness. However, feelings get caught up, playing get done, and things happen. Unfortunately. And that's why I also have to be conscious, and that's why I even make it that when I know I'm falling, I'm like, we can't be friends. Done that. I'm not even playing. I'm just like, we can't be friends. Done. Business, yeah, I can keep things straight business. And I've rarely found a male that can actually put aside feelings to deal with business. It's funny because a lot of people's like, females should be in leadership role because they will put they can't put their feelings, they'll cry and whatever. I'm like, show me a male that can keep things business when their feelings are affected. I mean, with my ex, I paid my own money for logos he's supposed to make, and he refused to give me the proper things that I had to redo it because of his feelings. I could list out so many. I found maybe one guy that could ever put aside his feelings, and we never even dated. But I respected him because he could do that. One guy out of all the many guys I've interacted with that could actually put aside their feelings. So, anyways, back to the point. So, I know when certain things I've learned and I've tried to. So, when I know I can get caught up and I can be absent-minded. So if I know I'm falling for somebody and I don't want to be with them or I don't think it's a good idea or whatever it is, we can't be friends. I told him that from the start. When I realized it's not going anywhere or it's not a good idea, we can't be friends. Same claim we were friends or whatever else, because he told me he was going to tell his girlfriend if she ever asked about me. That was 2020 at the time. I even asked him distinctly, if she ever asked who I am to you, what would you say? And he's like, you're my mother's friend. Anyways, let's get to the point. So I talked about something about him grabbing my ass. Mind you, that wasn't even the first time. The first time that happened in the same, literally, it was like, Daniel, why didn't you think? Because it would happen the same way. But because, feelings and playing, it happened. So in 2019, we shared, as I've shared before, the story of us meeting. I see him on a chair and I tell him go over, and I sat beside him because I realized he was in where I was working and he wasn't really a customer, but he was friends with people. So I was just like, you know what? You're friends with people, you're not customer. I need to sit down. I need some cool air. Go over. You need to sit down. And that, I think, broke the wall and conversation transpired. Just like conversations till, wherever. So every time he come, we end up sharing a chair. That's 2019. So we end up sharing a chair to the point where we end up playing. And one of the time he played is like, he got up, I think it's, and I took the whole chair now, right? And he come back now, because we're sharing a chair. I was like, no, I wasn't playing. And he's like, really? I said, no. And he sat on my lap. Mind you, just on the outer end, and I'm just like, whatever. And I drop my foot and he'd slide, and he's just playing, right? Innocent playing in my hair. And so now I have to get up because I'm at work to do work, and I end up coming back to rest again, and now he's like, revenge. And I was like, fine. And I sat on his lap. Mind you, I was very conscious to be like, yeah, not close to his crotch because we're not trying to do that, but we're playing, so I'm gonna go closer to his knee. But I forgot he's a male and he's black, he's Jamaican, they like ass. So I didn't think that his knee has skin that has feeling that can feel. So I mind you, I know, but I mean like I didn't think he'd be like, that's what he feeling and want to actually be like. So what he did was pat pat. It's funny and it was funny then, but at the same time like what? But he's like, is that what your butt feels like? I was like, what? And he's like, pat, pat. I was like, bruh. And I was like, I jumped up because I was like, bruh, oh yeah, I did not intend to do that. And then, I came out of playing mode and got into serious. Let me get back to work. That was 2019. Now 2020. Once again, we're in the back. Mind you, I went and I said, hey, let's talk about boundaries. And I was trying to talk to him about boundaries. And the first thing I even tell him, because I started to realize, when he gets close, my brain, I need to protect myself, my feelings. Yeah, he has a girlfriend. And so it's like, don't come too close. Like, I can deal with him here, but don't come. And he bring his face here. And I'm like, I almost lost my breath. I was just like, I need to get up and leave. And he's like, what? I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. I was like, dude, when I say, just listen. And eventually found out that he thought I was setting boundaries to help his relationship. I don't business. Not my business. Anyways, so now let's get to know. We end up sharing chair. People ask us to do stuff, so we end up pausing in between the conversation to end up before I could get to the point. So we end up playing once again because now we're sharing the chair. I think he got up. No, he come back to the chair. I was like, nope, I'm not sharing. And he's like, sit on my lap. And mind you, people saw us doing that, and we're like, yo, yes, yo, yeah, laugh or whatever. Once again, I had to get up. He gets the whole chair. Because eventually, we share it back. He gets the whole chair and he's like, revenge. That I forget. And I sat. But this time I forgot also he had a girlfriend because I wouldn't do that. 2019, he didn't have a girlfriend, but at the same time, I was like, I'm not trying to do anything. We were just playing. And then I was like, I even forgot that happened in 2019. I was just like, your fault. And I sat once again closer to the knee because I'm not trying nothing. And he's like, oh, that's what? And he's no longer pat, feel. And I'll be like moving and he do it like about 2 more times. I was like, you know what? Get up. Then I think I remember that moment or afterwards, like, bro, eventually a couple days later when I brought it up, his answer or his excuse was he forgot. Mind you, my excuse was also I forgot. But me to him is like, I can forget. I'm not in a relationship. You are. And he's like, I forgot. Nigga, mind you, this is why, also another reason why I have that long ass list about things that look like I'm the authoritative, controlling person. Me, what a relationship we have to worry about, what am I doing? You gonna forget? So you gonna forget when you're wife? So you have a wife excuse me. Anyways, point is, we got caught up playing, and I wouldn't do certain things. And then, mind you, ever since then, we've never shared a chair. Frankly, we don't even talk to each other. We don't even say we're like the last time we spoke was December 4th. Yet so God still don't change his mind. So, anyways, I know the reality of things. And as I explained to somebody today, just based on how he dealt with a lot of things, I would rather John. Who is John? John. Those who following special tweets will know that that's the guy that I keep saying God saying would be the replacement if they won't continue with their foolishness. Mind you, John, I am confidently, but I don't know if I would change my mind on that because everybody is not perfect. Everybody has their flaws. But I'd be confident to believe that I could trust John. Mind you, John. I know John having a lot of female friends too. But for some reason, from just how he interacts with me, no, he has self-control to be like, yo, we are not in something, I'm not going to cross certain lines, no matter how close or what you do. And if he get caught up in like I do something that I didn't realize I shouldn't have done, and he's still get it caught up. He's just like conscious to be like, don't do that, please. And why wouldn't I rather John over John? And I'm telling you, when I first was falling for John months ago in about March or February, whichever month it was, I think it was right before February because it was close to Valentine's Day. Because John is a kind person, so I'm pretty sure John would have had some Valentine's Day gift lined up for me, some birthday gift. Sorry, I'm getting up in my feelings right now. And I'm trying not to cry because I am tired. And I would like good things. Tired of the shit. But at least I can confidently say God still does some good stuff for me. So as much as let's pause the John thing so I don't get caught up in my feelings. So a lot of people have tweeted that I need to find somewhere to live. And it's still so. I don't know if it's a plot ploy or whatever it is. I ain't even going to go down that road and leave that for the book. That is not my business. And I'm not going to make it public. Because one, I am tired of trying to playing God's game where he's like, oh, tweet this, tweet that, where it's I know it's going to cause people to do what God says. And God, you have all power. You don't have to use me. Sorry. I'm tired of tweeting every little thing. And in some way, God is using that to manipulate situations into people doing what they said they actually say God said that he want. So I'm tired of that shit. So I'm not going to go in details anymore about what's happening. Yes, shit is still happening. And yes, I need to figure out where to live, whether or not it's a ploy, the reason is actually valid or not. The point is I need to go. And I think something's going to work out tomorrow. Thank God. I pray that it's actually work out. And I'm looking forward to that because I'm tired of the drama and the stress. And maybe also I think people are starting to figure out where I live. So that also is another bonus. And at least God worked that out because I was wondering and I did not have anywhere to go. And obviously God not delivering the promise. Or hasn't. Or where. Like, serious. This is why I wanted just that last post to be my last post, because just deliver. I'm done with the drama. I'm done with the stress. And if you're not using them, give me the replacement, because just even the reality of everything. Why the hell would I want to be with that? But fine, because you're not going to give me all the other stuff unless I accept that too. Fine. I don't even know if I'm going to go back down the road about John, because it's just going to hurt. It's just going to hurt. I'm tired and it's just going to hurt. It's just going to hurt. Because, somebody who actually cares and shows it and want to give it abundantly and has to be in this shit because some people who pray, because that's what God is implying, they pray they want it, they pray they want XYZ and certain things, but their action, their intention and more is the complete opposite. I ain't playing games.